Okay, fantastic. Well, I want to thank you and welcome everyone that's on our call today for WebXL. We're going to cover today our merchant services. And so you'll understand what merchant service is all about. And just, in general, I think we all know when you swipe, you mobile phone, anytime you're using a credit card, those are the merchant services we're speaking with. Now, what I'm going to do here is I appreciate everybody coming on. I'm going to mute everybody. Okay, so we're in presentation mode. We'll have a clean call so that way when it's recorded and people come on board with us, we won't have any distractions. Now, ladies and gentlemen, you see down there, you see, of course, WebXL. We all know what that is. But below you see PayXL. And PayXL is just our merchant services brand. That's our company, our bank. It's a merchant services. It's under known as PayXL. Now, what we're doing, and I'm just going to go on and get this started here. What happens is, this is kind of, I want to talk to you about what's happened over the last 7 years, and they're saying over the next 10 years what's going to be the case. Back in 2005, the ranked by purchase volume, there literally was checks were written more than anything else. So people use checks, and they use credit cards, then they use cash, then they use kind of the rest, and then debit cards were the last that people would use in order to conduct transactions. Well, by 2015, and I think many of us already see this as a shift the way it is, credit cards are number one, debit cards are number two, the rest, and the rest is like you would say gift cards and corporate cards, all those things, those make up the rest. That's number three now. Cash is four, and checks are the very last thing that people use in order to transact business. What happens here is we know that there's a shift in the U.S. economy payment system from 2005 versus what it will be in 2015. Literally, plastic cards have replaced cash and checks for up to 80% of all transactions in the last decade alone. This has created a huge amount of competition that want to have a piece of this enormous pie. They're called ISOs, and that stands for independent sales organizations. See, as a result, a price war has been created among the ISOs where merchants are lured by low rates and multiple, what's happening, because they're lured by those low rates and try to come and use this merchant services versus this merchant account versus this merchant account, what's happening is now those low rates come with a multitude of hidden fees. And that's what's going on there that they don't really realize. Now, what I want to do is I want to talk to you about really low risk versus high risk. See, the credit card processing industry is divided into those two verticals, low risk versus high risk. The low risk means that you swipe your credit cards in person. High risk is that you do credit card transactions on a website. Now, low risk, and I'm going to be using PayPal and Square, something that a lot of small businesses are attracted to, that they utilize, and I'm going to talk about why we're using that. Why did we select PayPal and Square for comparisons? It's important to look at the total cost of processing credit cards. See, other companies often publish discounted show rates, but you'll still get hit with cancellation fees and charges, extra fees for accepting reward or corporate cards, and so on. PayPal and Square are upfront with all their fees, so that's why we're using them as a comparison. Now, PayPal, they charge 2.7% per transaction, and Square charges 2.75% per transaction. Now, one of the things that we do, and when we look at PayPal, that's for their low risk. For their high risk, if you're using transaction on the website, they charge 3.1% plus 30 cents per transaction. And if they are using a system where they're accepting credit cards by phone, in other words, there's no, they don't have a website or anything like that, then it's 3.5% plus 15 cents per transaction and $30 per month. Now, Square, they just have a flat 3.5 cents per transaction plus 15 cents per transaction. So they add those things together, and that's what Square does. Now, PayPal, which charges that $30 per month fee for transactions that are used, if they don't have, if this is used by phone, they don't even have a website. So that's kind of what's happening out there. Now, what I want you to understand, there is a strategy to what we do. And I want you to realize this war that's going on out there in this credit card processing world. If a business processes $300,000 in credit cards per year, PayPal is only $12.50 per month cheaper than Square. So if you looked at the two and they're battling for market share, literally $12.50 per month cheaper than Square. With such small rate differences, it's almost impossible to convince anyone to switch their merchant service providers. And that's what you see out there. It's just been a real challenge. So if you're going to do that, what's the strategy in marketing that you have there? Well, you want to sell yourself first. The most critical element in every sales effort is you. So you want to first sell yourself. Then, ladies and gentlemen, you want to create bait. Or here's what you can do. You can reel them in with a suite of services that will greatly benefit their businesses. So you use WebXL and our suite of services, which are powerful, as the bait in order for them to now say, you know what, these services and everything else are so compelling that not only do I need them and I see and I understand that I have to have them, but of course you do my processing as well. And here's what we do. We connect our e-commerce site, which is PayXL, that's our ISO company, and we are high risk because we accept credit cards online. So now they have a e-commerce business at a rate of only 3.1% plus 12 cents per transaction. So as you can see, when you look at PayPal, when you look at Square, we're right there with them, and we're actually a little better, as we always say that we are. Now, one of the things that happens is, and let me just click here. Okay. The low-risk side, where a person is swiping the credit card in person, we are at 2.55% per transaction. Again, these are total fees, not all the hidden stuff, because we could say, hey, we're 1.5 plus this, plus that, and they get all these hidden charges. That total rate is 2.55% per transaction. Now, we do one other thing. We take it a step further. We have a rate match guarantee. See, what we'll do is we will match any rate that is currently being used by our new merchants, and that's either swipe through e-commerce or mobile. We'll absolutely match that. Now, what I want you to understand is as we do that, it puts us in a very powerful position. So here's what I want you to know, that this was just a quick overview of the merchant services and the comparable rates. In our next webinars, what we're going to do is we'll focus more on our merchant services, the processing equipment, and our international capabilities. So I don't want to throw too much at one time. We're going to have this call recorded. We believe that it is, so you'll be able to hear this information, kind of get this basic part started, and then we'll get into more details in our future webinars. So ladies and gentlemen, I truly appreciate you being on the call with us this evening. I thank you for your time. I'm so excited for your futures. I know what we're going to do here at WebXL and ExtraPlan is going to be absolutely extraordinary. The value of your franchises will be phenomenal, and as we go out there and really impact the business community that's absolutely crying for our help, they really need what we have to offer, and once they understand what we have, they don't like it, they love it, and ladies and gentlemen, that's what we're going to do, is to bring that to them and really impact the world. And as we begin to do that and really start to gain market share and do some amazing things in that area, which each and every one of you are going to be a part of, ladies and gentlemen, this is how we grow the value of our franchises, and we help that small business owner have a fighting chance, we level the playing field so he can be just like the big box stores, have everything that they have, and now he can go out there and really make a difference. And as we help them make that difference, the most beautiful thing about the way we're completely set up is as they win, we win, and that is a very, very exciting place to be. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, I look forward to talking with you on Tuesday morning at 11:30 Eastern Time, we'll have our conference call, and so I'm really excited about that. We'll make sure we get the emails out to you for that information. We're also going to get the email out to you about this recorded call. We believe it's going to be recorded this time. They may have fixed the technical difficulties that we had with the first call. So if we get this call recorded, this email will go out, and you'll be able to have the recorded call there with you. Also, I do want to encourage you that if you are going to be a part of our postcard campaign, that you respond to the email that Shane sent out and get that all handled and done, because that is going to be a powerful campaign that will bring businesses that will absolutely be calling you because they are looking for exactly what we have to offer. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, have a great evening. I will talk with you soon. You know, if you need to contact me, you can always reach me at 310-987-7411. Again, that's 310-987-7411. Or, ladies and gentlemen, you can literally call, or email me, I should say, at andamo.tolson@extraplan.org. I look forward to talking with you soon. Have a great weekend. Make it a productive weekend, and we'll see you on Tuesday morning at 11:30 a.m. Eastern Time. Thank you.